I'll give you the world, but what will you do with that glimpse? Divinity provided many times before I was ready and again needed to shift. Not punishment, but instilled a yearning for wholeness, which would break again to layer in the new. Our capacity expands as we embrace the fractals, or lie stagnant when we hold on to a precious few. The kindest have that darkness, the safety mechanisms of the mind, reverted back to what felt familiar and remembered, the parts mirrored of me that were too scared to shine, which requires a first step, maybe 10, stumbling the entire time. Suddenly, those muscles recognize the movement, sprinting faster and now in a straight line. Who I am will be who I once was, also who I was meant to become before. Learning when to rest and to run, understanding the route, that feeling of unsure. Vulnerability is a necessity, leading in deep lessons along the way, choosing warmth and kindness, loneliness over pain, meeting myself again and again. Who did they think they were? Very brave, very courageous. Who were they to be so loud? Someone whose laugh was always contagious. Who were they to dream so big? Someone whose mind held the stars. Who were they to wonder with immensity? Someone who knew the world was all of ours. Who were they to run and leap and sing and dance and jump? They knew it was best to move instead of staying stuck. Who were they to feel deeply and to explore? Someone who wanted to learn and experience, not run amok. Who were they to label them? The other one, that is. Who were the others who commented their truth with confidence? Someone who was also once just a kid, who was searching for, learning and remembering who they are, whose journey has taken twists and turns, who's felt close to themselves as well as afar. Why were the fingers pointed from them, the other, and the other of the others? Wouldn't it be easier to put them down and to smile, try to understand, maybe compliment, and not stutter? This world is big enough and diverse enough for every version and every type of them. Whatever our colour, we could love each other, and in the process, learn to be our own friend. Keep shining and growing with all of your might. And if you catch yourself straying, remember the real you is only out of sight until you remember again and emerge again as you, who's meant to be a combination of fresh knowledge, some old parts, and some new. Oh, so human to point fingers when we're still learning ourselves. They are us, we are them, and the other is also a self. We are one, you remember, as tears fill your eyes, with happiness and understanding that the other was themselves in disguise. A new adventure, a path, or maybe a chapter not to enter, a part of them to learn or not to embrace in their centre. Who do they think they are? To shine ever so bright. They are you, they are me, and they are part of the light. Science and spirit, never separated. Oppressive systems aside, divinity exists. It used to be twin flames. Once it was empath versus narcissist, tarot and deities, psychedelics as an exit. Unsolicited esoteric knowledge, struggling to see straight, a brain so active with no choice. I chose this before I came. Extreme choices while searching, deep in the polarity and duality of life, experiencing the opposites, to one day experience humanity without shame. Befriended Sikhs and Mormons, shamans and Catholics, Hindus and Muslims, atheists and whitewash spiritualists. Religion was my chosen start. Brief atheism I encountered after. Spirituality, which was all-encompassing, all-rooted in control. What a catastrophe. 20s were the worst years, building foundations blindly, dying endlessly to learn the trades, to hire myself again. Embrace my physical vessel, use it to help, not harm. face the darkness indoctrinated, no longer excusing the choices made. I hang with Jesus, also Odin and my past loved ones. Read tarot and the Bible in the same reading. Devil, human psyche really, experiencing light to the lack of early. The worldly and most ethereal of myself existence is provided when my soul I continue feeding. Dear Annie, you fooled me, though I know you thought it was best. I'll keep her safe. Oh, and focused, and always on track, she said. We've lived side by side, also, often, hand in hand. Others couldn't see her, their eyes didn't understand. Put your head down, they're looking, there must be something wrong with the way you walk, you talk, and the way you sing your song. Be careful, she warned. Not all you can trust. This was sometimes true, but not always a must. She fooled me, but protected me. How confusing is that? She was suspicious, almost superstitious, and saw the world in white and black. Over time, I told dear Annie that our friendship had become chaotic. There were times that I flinched, that I should have been heroic. We'd battled, and for some reason, I couldn't look too deep into our connection. That was, why did she want the mountain to be so steep? We almost parted. We argued, though underneath the flames was light. A happy medium was brewing that didn't come from fawn, flight, or fight. Sometimes she'd kept me safe, though when unaligned, we didn't belong. We sat and looked at others who were numb and who no longer sung their song. Surely that's not us. We pondered and we stared. We realized at that moment we couldn't compare. United, we should stand, calmly and connected, no longer in friction, like what we had seen and experienced when we reflected. Dear Annie, you fooled me. Though I knew you were never bad, you and I had a journey of understanding and healing to be had. To my friend, anxiety. I'm trying to see my strengths, God. I know they're there inside. In fact, I live them daily, or at least some. The rest, they hide. Impossible to embrace my entirety in each and every day. A scope wider than the cosmos, though tunneled in hope that the good things will stay. So human, God, to fear the unknown. It's a place I've been in before. It weirdly feels like home. To wonder, to worry, to a debilitating extent. Inner turbulence seems like a very old friend. The storm comes, then the clearing, then the wide open skies. I feel the storm of the wild in my heart, my gut, and my mind.